Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be episode number 285. Yes, 285 on our way to 300 of DI Cable Guy, the longest weekly running episodic podcast in WWE Champions history, where we are often imitated but never duplicated. With me, as always, is the wonderful, the one, the only, the beautiful Dr. Sparks. Mr. Sparks, how are you today?
It's good to be here, Mherex. One comment though, I can duplicate myself.
Really?
Yeah.
So I knew you could be like in all times, essentially in all places. I don't understand how that works. It's over my head, right? But I knew that was a thing. I didn't realize you could duplicate yourself.
Yeah. Like I don't need to, but it's fun to mess with people sometimes.
Do you ever?
They'll think that they see me, and then they turn around and they see me again, and they're like, "Wait, what? What?" And they just turn around, and it's just confusing. I do it to total strangers. It's just for kicks.
I mean, I can respect that. That actually, I could probably waste a lot of time doing that and enjoying that. Have you ever just pretended like it's your twin and really started to mess with people like your identical twin?
No, because it's better to have them think that they're slipping into madness.
I can respect that.
By better, I mean for me. I mean,
right.
It's worse for them, but it pleases me.
Right. And that's, I mean, honestly, if it's worse for them, but it pleases you, that makes it right. Right. I mean, like,
I mean, within reason. Like, I don't want to cause them like bodily harm.
Just mentally.
Yeah, I mean, it's just slight psychological trauma. There's no long-term negative effects
that you're aware of.
No, I'm aware of them. I'm just saying that to make you feel better.
Oh, okay. Well, I do feel better, interestingly enough. Open up a delicious cold beverage here. If you are hankering for something that has the right amount of flavor and thirst quenching ability, you should look into Big Red. It's delicious, and they sponsor.
No, stop that. Stop it.
But they're our sponsor.
Stop it.
Aren't they our sponsor?
Stop it.
Are they not
You wouldn't even correct people when they thought we were talking about gum.
Listen, just because somebody watching was confused, it's not my job to reorient them on the proper etiquette or whatever.
I tell you what I'm having.
Mr. Pibb?
I told you that no. I told you I spent some time
Diet
in Texas
Dr. Pepper?
Will you shut up?
Okay.
I spent some time in Texas trying to finalize this deal.
A lemon lime drink? A Sprite?
No, stop it. So
root beer.
It's official now. Dr. Pepper is on board.
Coca-Cola?
No, but you're not even listening. You're just saying words.
Oh, what? We got Dr. Pepper?
Yeah. It was they said they really appreciated the shout out to Blackberry Dr. Pepper last week. They saw an immediate bump in sales after the podcast was released. And yeah, the proof was in the pudding. So we're on board.
Did they happen to tell you what percentage increase it bumped after the video dropped last week?
They did, but I'm not going to tell you because I got a percentage of that and I'm not sharing it with you because you didn't help at all.
What? I helped?
No, zero help. You may have hurt the negotiations, in fact.
So actually, I just opened a Diet Dr. Pepper, which I can drink endlessly and it doesn't harm my diabetes. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's been clinically proven that Diet Dr. Pepper lowers your risk of diabetes. And if you have diabetes, it can actually reverse it. It's actually a miracle soda. Did you know that? So drink Diet Dr. Pepper, everyone.
So you're saying that in jest, but you're not wrong. So, there's a lot of, people like the internet is horrible, and most of the people that are on there are monsters.
Yeah, like
So,
us.
people will make, clickbait videos and things like, oh, diet soda has this chemical and it causes cancer and it does this and it does that. But like if you ever actually looked at like the actual research and the amount of these ingredients that are in these drinks, for example, there's one ingredient that literally, if you eat one tomato, it has like 1,000 times more. There's another ingredient that, like, if you eat a steak, also like hundreds of times more. So, like, these carcinogenic properties that people like to claim on the internet that diet drinks have, I think I saw a study once that said that you would have to drink, I think it was like 70 diet sodas daily for years for it to have any quantifiable effect on your body. So, yeah, if you are at all overweight or if you just want to be healthier, drink less regular soda, throw in some diet sodas. Yes, it has chemicals. The chemicals are totally fine. Enjoy it.
X,
It's delicious.
X. He's a doctor, ladies and gentlemen. A
Yeah,
doctor of medicine.
yeah. Thugonomics.
Right. Thugonomics, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
So today, cherry Dr. Pepper Zero is what I got going on here.
really? So I was just attempting to shill, of course, because I want to cut out the profits. I'm
Wait,
actually
are you not actually drinking a diet Dr. Pepper?
No, I'm drinking a Monster Ultra Red, which is also sugar-free.
Dude, knock it off.
Well, use your hookup and get them to send me some Diet Dr. Pepper and I'll drink it next one.
So, as opposed to mildly caffeinated diet beverages, you drinking monsters all the
Oh,
time
here we go.
is bad for you.
It is not.
All right.
No, not.
We're not
It's
going to get
not.
into this.
Okay. We probably shouldn't. I appreciate your concern for my health, doctor.
I tried to get you on a full regimen. You did it for a couple weeks. You said you felt better than ever, and then you fell off a ladder, and then you're like, nah.
So,
Good.
this is actually not an exaggeration. This is true. Since I fell
Yeah,
off
well, I've
that
never exaggerated about anything. Like,
ever, one time, never. No, you haven't. I agree.
I spit hot fire.
You do. It's been a string of
Literally.
bad luck since I fell off that ladder, to be honest.
No.
We
I
don't
remember you sent me a picture of your point of view from the floor.
I did. I remember that. That was not a
Yeah,
good
you fell. You fell. You're like, I fell. I was like, oh, dude, are you all right? And then here's a picture of, what was it, like the ladder to the attic or something?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, this is what I'm staring up at the lights like a jobber.
yeah. Yes, it didn't feel good.
No.
It wasn't my best day ever,
Well,
you know?
how are you
Was it?
doing, by the way?
I'm mostly over this cold that I've had, so that part's good.
Yeah, but I mean that you were always gonna get over that. I'm asking more about like I was working on things to help your back, to help your shoulder. Like I was trying to turn you into a half decent human being, and you're thwarting me at every chance you get.
I mean, so I'm still I have a what is that called when the thing happens in your back? I forget the name of it right now. I hate it when I lose words. Do you ever lose words, Dr. Sparks? Probably not.
Never, not once.
Mm.
Are you talking about a impingement, a herniation?
Along the lines of impingement, but not exactly that. It's when like, your back like clamps up really bad kind of thing, and then it's in the disc, and then they sometimes have to go in and shave the disc down because the disc is pressing on the nerve. Bulging
Okay.
disc. I think I have a hernia. Yeah, bulging disc, I think is what it is. Yes, I think that's
Okay.
what it is. Yeah. So it's livable these days. I mean, like much better than it was. And then I have a torn rotator cuff that I refuse to have surgery on that I just am waiting for it to stop hurting as much.
Yeah.
Not smart.
Little known fact. You know, a bulging disc is a herniation, right?
I didn't. I don't study it. I'm not a medical professional.
No. Okay,
I
that's fine.
didn't. I didn't know that. Oh,
Okay. It's a type of herniation. A hernia is not
right.
just when the abdomen sac tears and the fellows go up into your guts.
Ooh.
That is a type of hernia, but that is not a disc herniation.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good day.
Yeah.
So
I,
I'm fine though. Like, how are you? I mean, like, so a bunch of people have been asking me this week, how's Dr. Sparks doing? What did he do? What's he doing today? And I'm like, well, I'm not at liberty to say. That's kind of his information to give. So what have you been doing this, like, the past week? Anything interesting? Anything exciting? And most people know what I've done. It's pretty boring. I sit in front of my computer and I, smash gems, watching men in tights beat up other men in tights. You know what I mean?
yep, yep, that's fair. So one, I know for a fact that you are only using this as a segue, and no one actually asked you that. But I appreciate it because it helps move the program along. Um, but last week you asked me if I knew who the current TWO champion was,
Yeah.
and I told you that I wasn't caught up with the programming. So that's what I did. I got caught up.
Really?
I logged on to TWO Prime, which is their streaming service,
Wait, they have it.
and
Wait, whoa. They have a streaming service now?
yeah, I
Huh.
mean, I don't know if it's available here, but I have it.
Huh.
Yeah,
I'll look into that.
yep, yeah. So I was looking, hey, what's going on? And apparently they just had a pay-per-view, TWO Maple Mayhem. It's one of their larger shows during the year. And
Maple Mayhem?
yeah, Maple Mayhem.
Oh, is there maple syrup involved?
It depends. More in like the 90s, they had like the bra and panties in the maple matches,
Mm.
90s type stuff. But no, it's pretty legit now.
What about maple bar and a pole?
No, they didn't have that. But I'm trying to tell you what
Oh,
did go down.
sorry.
I'm trying to tell you what went down because there was a title fight at TWO Maple Mayhem. It was Sid Viscus against, you'll never guess, this shocked me, Disco Inferno.
What?
Yeah, that Disco Inferno.
I love Disco Inferno.
Yeah, he weaseled his way into the title scene, and he had the title. He showed up one day talking about, like, hey, I'm a businessman now. I don't know if you knew this about Disco, but he's a promoter for a gentleman's club. That's what he does now.
That seems like a step down.
Well, I mean, it's relative. I mean, it depends kind of company you're looking to keep. But yeah, so like he showed up at TWO talking about, he's a fine gentleman, and all these dirty blue collar brawlers, they can't hold a candle to his pedigree and to his business acumen and blah 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 blah
Wait.
blah.
So he changed his finisher to a pedigree?
No, like his pedigree in terms of his background, like his wrestling.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
confused.
yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, one of the earlier matches, they had a they had a character who looked like a ripoff of old school Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
You mean
With
like
the very,
the blue blood?
yeah, exactly. But his name was Booker T, and I was very confused
What?
until they played the graphic, and it was spelled TEA, and then I thought it was just brilliant. Like, he comes out, like, he's got his pinky up and he's just sipping tea as he walks to the ring. It was fantastic.
Did he do a spinneroonie?
No, it's ridiculous. Why would he do that?
Did he do like a Harlem Axe kick?
No. He was just a white guy that drinks tea and is very proper.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's what the blue blood was. He curtsied. I mean, it was the whole package. Anyways, focus.
Sorry.
So Disco Inferno, right? You know, he comes in, he uses his connections, he gets the belt by nefarious means. It's crazy. It's like a old school Godfather, right? He has the entourage of the ladies of the night with him, and they're like a stable, right? They're it's reminiscent of your title run when you had the belt and everyone was trying to take it from you, and you had all your weasels kind of stopping them and interfering in matches. Disco's doing the same thing, except they're all strippers.
So
So
does he? You said like very similar to old school Godfather.
yeah, like he comes to the ring with a bunch of ladies
So
in
does
in not
Fredo
much attire.
and Michael and Sonny come out with him?
I don't know what you're going, like Alfredo, like the
No,
sauce.
no, 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 no. Fredo Corleone and
No,
like Michael Corleone.
no, I thought that's where you're going, but it wasn't very good, so I chose to ignore it.
I
Focus.
I hate you.
So yeah, so they he goes up, he's talking down on the working man.
What about
uh
Carmella? Does Carmella come out?
you're just saying words, stop it.
Okay.
So yeah, so Sid Vicious comes out.
I
He's
like
in like,
I like Sid Vicious. He's pretty thick.
yeah, you're a man of the people. You like the everyman.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's coming out fighting for the everyman, right? He's coming out with like overalls and like a one of those like tire irons and things like that. So yeah, they start jawing off at the mouth. But yeah, at the pay-per-view, they had one of these like theatric type matches. You know how like AJ and Undertaker had.
Oh, like a battle at the boneyard thingy majiggy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But they had it at Disco's Gentlemen's Club.
This seems like it probably wasn't PG era programming.
It was. I mean, it was like Attitude Era. I mean,
That actually sounds kind of horrible, to be honest.
yeah. No, but the match itself was high quality stuff.
Was
Like
it was it as good as Booker T not with a cup of tea, like and Austin in the supermarket kind of good?
yeah, I enjoyed that. This was right there.
Oh, I might have to
Yeah.
watch that.
No, it's good. Yeah, like if you get access to it, like it ends up Sid Vicious does the Pennzoil power bomb on Disco. He puts him through the stage, and like the stage explodes, and it was the last man standing match, and Disco, you're not getting up from that. So yeah, new champion, Sid Vicious.
With the Pennzoil power bomb through the stage.
Exactly.
That's pretty dope.
I was surprised. TWO usually more traditional. As inventors of the tag match,
Right.
they tend to be more risk averse. There's a lot of arm drags and a lot of side headlocks. No, this is not your grandpa's TWO.
Interesting. Yeah, because back in the day, I remember it was mostly they're doing like the tried and true stuff, a bunch of different tropes, nothing outside the box. This is I might have to start watching again.
Yep.
That's good
I
information.
mean, at a minimum, like I don't know if the weekly programming is worth it, but watching the big shows, that's probably where it's at.
Yeah, fair, fair. Let's see what else. Oh, one of our favorite things, right? Obviously, is food because food is delicious. Have you had anything particularly tasty this week?
Um, I mean, I have tasty food all the time. Do you eat bad food? Is that like what you do, Mherex?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why?
Why? because
Yeah, like you get
I'm lazy and cooking food requires a lot of effort.
exposed, but I mean, that's your own fault.
Of course it is.
Okay.
I accept full ownership of the fact that most of my diet consists of cheese, sandwiches, and almonds, and then energy drinks.
Chocolate milk.
I actually have not been drinking chocolate milk these days. It's not, diabetes doesn't like it. I've been trying to make,
Uh,
better life choices in general. So most everything is very low on the sugar, so it's not as many sandwiches as I would like because, the carbs in the bread.
yeah, I mean, as long as your fiber is regulated, you shouldn't get an insulin spike.
Yeah,
Gotta
no issues. We're good.
uh, gotta make sure your glycemic index is where it needs to be. Anyways,
I thought you said you weren't a doctor. I thought you said you were like a thugonomics doctor.
yeah, it doesn't mean I don't know everything.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean, I've never claimed to not know everything.
I think I understood that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but anyways, yeah. Let's see. All right. Today I had some grilled skirt steak. Yesterday I had
Can I ask
some.
a question I actually don't know the answer to?
Okay.
What makes a steak a skirt steak? Is that like a really thin steak? Like I actually don't know what makes it a skirt steak. Is that weird that I
It's
don't know?
no. It's the cut of where it's from. So it's not the thinness. It's the part of the body that it comes from.
Hmm.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So, uh,
Yeah.
you said it was good. I'm gonna sidetrack you here. Not
So
just to not.
so skirts. So let me. A skirt steak
Uh-huh.
is traditionally, if you were to have fajitas from like a Tex-Mex place,
Okay.
that usually the traditional meat that they use for that is skirt steak.
What?
It's a it's a long, flat, thin steak.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like
yeah,
from the back then, since it's long, or the side or something?
yeah, it's like from the diaphragm type area.
Okay.
But
Do you
yeah,
have a favorite
it's
cut?
a cut. It's a cut of the meat.
Do you have a
Favorite
favorite?
cut?
Yeah.
Um, I have a couple. Uh, Short rib is amazing.
Okay.
So you can go if you go to your butcher, they'll have short rib and it'll be like on the bone, like it'll be like cross cut, and it'll have like a little flank of steak, like connected to the small piece of rib. Oh, it's so good. Grill that up, or if you're into Korean barbecue,
Ooh,
you
yes,
can
that's
get
good. That's good.
yeah, you can get some like bulgogi.
What?
Uh,
What?
Bulgogi. It's like a it's like a marinade. It's on the sweet side, so some people, especially with your aversion to pineapple,
Yeah.
it's a marinade. It's like uh, it's a very thin steak that they marinate in this, typically grilled. But yeah, it's something that you can typically get at a Korean barbecue place. But yeah,
Hmm.
short ribs, fantastic. Beef short ribs. Uh, Ribs in general, like um, if you go to like a barbecue place, if you go like to a really like high end barbecue place, like you can get like beef rib. Um, if you ever want to overindulge, there's some places that you can get like a Wagyu beef rib.
I've
Um,
heard of this. I've never had one. That's like really super fancy, right? Like super fancy.
yeah, so uh, Wagyu, like literally, it means Japanese cattle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's basically the way that they prepare, the way that they take care of the beef of the cattle. It's made a certain way. It's not like mass produced. Like here, like they just have people, the cows, they keep them in small containers. Like they feed the cows a specific diet. They make sure that they move around a certain way. so that the fat isn't marbled, like it's not collected all just in one area. The fat is like evenly distributed because they're able to walk around. They even massage the cows to make sure that there's no like tough areas and things like that. Uh,
So
and then
you're basically
yeah,
saying it's like the most tender steak, and the fat, because it's evenly distributed, makes it super like juicy and tender.
yes. So you've probably heard of Kobe beef.
Sure.
Yeah. So Kobe is a type of Wagyu. So for something to be Kobe, it has to come from a very specific area, the Hyogo Prefecture in Japan. It has to come from there for it to be authentic Kobe. There's a lot of places that claim that they're selling Wagyu or American Kobe. Like no, that's all whack. What they do is basically they claim that they're using the same practices, but to have like legit Wagyu or legit Kobe, um, you get it directly from Japan, and like the restaurant or the distributor has to have like a license. There has to be like a actual relationship with the distributor.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, like I had a steak in Amsterdam, and they gave me a certificate of authenticity for the steak, and it had like the lineage of the cow. You can go online, type in the serial number, and it tells you like who the parents were and all that, which was kind of depressing, right? Like
Yeah,
my
that
steak had an,
seems that
but it was
seems
delicious. It's fantastic, like you said. It's the fat is evenly distributed, so yeah, it makes it the the best the best steak you'll ever have.
I might have to do that sometime.
Yeah, but very expensive. Not something that you can have normally. I mean, you could, but not most people. But if you
Sure.
want, just a more a more normal cut, obviously ribeye, fantastic. Like I said, beef short rib, especially grilled, a lot of like I said, in Korean barbecue, things like that. Vietnamese also make very good short rib. Um, yeah, if you get a T-bone, the larger side will be the New York strip, and then the shorter side will be the fillet. So people have probably heard of filet mignon. Like if
Yeah.
you get a T-bone steak, the T-bone steak is basically those two cuts, and then the T in the middle. So like the smaller portion is going to be the fillet. That's going to be a lot more tender, but it doesn't have the marbling that you would get in a ribeye.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, yeah,
Uh,
meat
who
is delicious.
who knew you were like such a fountain of knowledge I mean, it's not surprising. This is what you do. You know all these little factoids about everything because
Yeah,
you exist everywhere.
yeah. It's easy to accumulate information when you are everything.
So this is a really good, I think, point. Let's say somebody's just tuning in for the first time. This is the first episode they've ever seen. They've somehow managed to miss 284 episodes. One, what's wrong with you? We kind of don't like you, but whatever. What would you say to that person that doesn't know Dr. Sparks, that right now is confused with what we just said?
Um, I don't dislike them. That's the first thing that I would say. I would
Okay.
say that I would say that their life has value, and they should keep up the good work. That's what I would say to them.
And they should.
If there was someone that's never like heard the show or anything like that. Most of the people though that hear the show, like they play the game and they suck at it. Those people I don't care for.
Right. Okay. Good. Good. I was afraid where that was going. Like, I didn't like the way that sounded. But yeah, the majority of people that watch this, they suck at the game.
Yeah, like I don't dislike everyone as a rule. It's just that most people suck, so I tend to not like most of them. If you
That
don't suck, I have nothing against you.
right. Yeah, yeah. I think in general, and we talk about this a lot, people should just try to not suck.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like you don't need to try to be like a good person. Just don't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
At
good.
least make an effort. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna suck on accident from time to time, but at least make an effort, man. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. I it is definitely easy to suck on accident. What are we
Yeah.
talking about now?
You we were talking about how you don't like that everyone hates on Hulk Hogan, but they don't talk about how
No,
some.
I'm not letting you do this. No.
That's what I want to talk about.
No. No.
I want to know what happened. I want you to name names.
What am I naming names about now?
I want to know about these allegations.
What what allegations? Oh, here we go.
No, I don't know. You were the one. You were the one telling me. I mean,
Telling you what?
about the incidents with Stunning Steve.
Stone Cold?
Yeah, we were just talking about how it's easy to suck on accident, and what I said was there's gonna be times in your life where you're gonna suck. Like
Right.
it's gonna happen, right? Like it,
Right.
it happens. Even if people think you're amazing, like you could have things in your past that you did, maybe that you're not proud of, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Sure.
It doesn't define who you are. And I was using him as an example. And
I
that's what I wanted to talk about. You're scared.
I think it kind of does for me anyway define him. I mean, granted, a lot of people maybe either they don't know or they don't care, but I feel like he did not suck on accident. I feel like he sucked on purpose because some of that stuff is quite hard to do on accident. So, for
Well, but
example, beating your
but do you
wife.
but do you
How do you
do you,
how do you accidentally beat your wife?
yeah, I'm not saying he did it on accident. What I was saying is we're talking about how sucking is not a all or nothing thing, right? So, and you say like, oh, it defines him. Like, I think that's not fair. Like, you shouldn't. That's not to defend any action, but as someone that exists in all times, can you imagine if what you did at one point in time was the only thing that anything saw you as, and no matter what you did the rest of your life, like there was no changing or getting over one action, one decision?
So, that is sort of fair. Like I get what you're saying. I think in a lot of cases for sure, right? Like most cases, I think we all mess up, we make mistakes, we're not in the public eye, right? So I do think it is fair to say one choice the majority of the time shouldn't define a person for sure. I do think multiple bad choices and you lose any kind of benefit of the doubt. And obviously people can change too, right? Like I
Yeah.
know like you're saying like in general um, there's stuff that I said as a teenager, young man, that I would never say today, and is embarrassing that I said back then. You know what I mean? Because you don't have the same. I think maybe it's and not that a lot of it was ever said to be thinking it was like hurting anyone or unintent. You know what I mean? Like intentional
Mm.
to do harm. But a lot of times I just think we don't think about how our words and our actions can affect other people. I know I don't.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Um, you meatbags, you meatbags respond in a way that's emotional. So instead of responding logically, a lot of your responses are emotional, which is what makes you weak and inferior.
Right.
So because you can't keep a cool head, because you can't think things out logically before you react, yeah, sometimes poor decisions are made. But yeah, as someone more enlightened, just not gonna say always, you know, let everything go, but you have to understand that things happen, right? Like everyone does things, everyone's going through things. Like in the same vein as you should try not to suck, try to give people a break, because if everyone was like super high strung about everything that you did, I'm sure that you wouldn't like it. And again, the only asterisk in there are people that are bad at the game. They get no defense.
So, I mean, I can appreciate what you're saying, and I do think like, in a case like this, I absolutely judge him for what he did, right? Like, for me, I find there's no excuse to ever do that and that sort of thing, right? So, um,
So okay, let's look at this from another point of view, Mherex.
sure,
I think you should go onto YouTube. Are you sharing your screen right now?
always,
Um, if you played a video, would it play the audio?
yes,
I think that
no,
you should go. I think that you should go
no,
onto YouTube,
no,
and I would like
no,
you to search for Sami Zayn, the blackest man in Nebraska.
no.
I'm just saying.
That seems like a really bad idea.
I'm just saying, Mherex.
I
You
don't
talk
know what
about
that. I don't even know what that is, but that seems like a very bad idea.
Did you search it?
No,
Search it.
no.
You don't have to play it. You don't have to play it. You can play it when the show's over. Everyone else is gonna search it. Like the 5 people that listen to it, like they paused the video and they're watching it right now. So welcome back to the people who left to watch Sami Zayn, Blackest Man in Nebraska.
Oh my
And now we're back.
gosh. Big Larry character that he portrayed from 2003 to 2004. He looks like a baby.
Yeah.
Although
Which
that's also kayfabe though.
you don't know that Austin wasn't.
I I do. Well,
No,
so
you don't.
90
See,
I do.
no,
No, I
you
do.
can't know.
I
So
I do.
the best works are the one where you don't know if it's a work or if it's a shoot.
This is not a work.
I mean,
Well,
you don't know that.
we do. So
I
to
mean,
read to
the great Hulk Hogan
oh no,
once said,
stop.
"Jabroni marks without a life that don't know it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot." That's
This
what's
was
happening right now.
this is such a mistake.
You're being a jabroni mark for Sami Zayn.
This was such a mistake.
So, speaking of Sami Zayn,
just so everyone no, just I need to get just so everyone knows I have nothing to do with this person or any association with him. I have not I am being held forced to
with
put him
Sami
on.
Zayn,
No, you.
what I do?
What I do. All right. I hate you.
I just told you Sami Zayn was the blackest man in Nebraska.
I mean
What does that have to do with me?
all right. Let's I am so confused right now.
I gave you a seamless Sami Zayn transition is what just happened.
You want to talk about the Dudinator? Is that what you're saying now?
I don't know, whatever.
You know what I want to talk about? Do you know what I want to talk about?
What's up?
The price of everything has gone up. In particular, simple things that shouldn't go up. I mean,
In game or in life?
oh, I was talking about in life. I'm game. I don't know.
You know what hasn't gone up?
What?
The price of
The price of what?
balloons.
That's really random. Balloons haven't gone up in price?
I mean, not really. Like if you think about like latex balloons, like just regular balloons, like yeah, you can get a bag of balloons for like nothing. No, are you gonna fight me on that?
No. No, I'm confused though. Why? What? Where did that come from?
You said that you don't like how the price of things has gone up, and I'm telling you, the price of balloons has not gone up. That
Oh,
was completely irrelevant to what you were saying.
it
It was in direct response
it
to what.
it doesn't. It I get what you're going for. It doesn't seem relevant. Before we move
How is
on,
it? How is it not
just,
relevant?
just
You're talking about the price of balloons. No, the price of things going up. Do you know
what?
why the price of balloons hasn't gone up?
Oh, I'm afraid to ask why.
Because they were made for inflation.
I knew this was a setup. I knew it. I
Got him.
knew. I
Got him.
knew.
Got him.
I hate you.
That being said, it's still true. Balloons are super cheap. Uh, if you're looking for something fun to do, blow up a balloon and just kind of toss it around in the air, and then just
Are you
pat it from person to
Are you
person.
opening
And
a
go right.
balloon right now?
No, why would you open a balloon? That would just be ripping a hole in latex.
I'm so confused.
Balloons, cheap, fun. Also, tennis balls. Grab a tennis ball, throw it against the wall, throw it in the air. Fun had by all. Anyways, you were complaining about how things are so expensive, and I was saying you can still have cheap fun. Go ahead, Mherex. What were you going to complain about?
I I I want to wrap a bow on what we were just talking about because I
Sami
think
Zayn or
yes,
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold. So
Okay.
I think
What does that have to do with inflation?
mm,
I'm super confused now.
not nothing, but I think a lot of people are gonna kind of miss the point of the dialogue, right? Because
No one's listening to this. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Okay, so I think the 5 people listening to it's possible 1 or 2 might miss the point of the dialogue.
I
So
don't see that. We were just talking about historic events. So
right. So on the one hand, you absolutely should not suck, and you should
no,
strive to be a better person. On the other
no,
hand, also there should be consequences for bad actions. You pay the price for
sure,
that. You serve your debt to society, and
sure.
then though, as you say, if somebody changes and does better, I think it is fair to give that person a second chance. Of course.
Yeah, people should be judged for their entire body of work, not just for one moment in time.
Right. If there's,
That's not to say that that one moment doesn't have an impact.
it does,
It
yes.
does,
And it's
but
bad,
yeah,
yes.
you gotta look at people as a whole.
Yeah, there's a difference between making an excuse for someone saying what they did was okay, because that is not the case, right? Obviously,
Yeah,
never okay and not an excuse. But that
yeah.
doesn't.
I don't know why you're freaking out so much. I never said that it was okay.
No, I know you didn't. I think in general though this is good because like I think we all have our things too where you're like, man, that I don't tolerate, right? And like I'm just going to assume they're forever bad. And
Hmm.
I actually think that that's kind of dangerous mentality. Like it's good to be careful, it's
No,
good to be safe, it's good to try and protect other people and all that. But it is really dangerous to think that people can't change because you ever think about where you started and how you thought when you were like 14, when you were like 20, and when you were like 30. In my case, I'm in my 40s now. And the way I think now compared to the way I thought 20 years ago is remarkably different.
yeah, and the thing is that if you only ever judge people on kind of one moment in time, and you automatically assume they did that, they're bad forever. Like, how is that person ever going to be rehabilitated? Like,
Correct.
if everyone gives up on someone, like, things like, you're talking about that. Well, what about things like drug addiction,
Right.
right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
that person's a junkie. Like, if there's no one that ever like helps you out when you need help, like, why would you ever expect to get any better?
Correct.
So I tried to help you when you fell off the ladder, and here we are.
Here we are. I mean, you did help. You were concerned. You thought you were going to have to teleport or duplicate yourself to pick me up, because one of you probably couldn't have.
I can assure you, I could pick you up. You've seen me pick things up.
You could easily pick me up.
I can pick you up.
You're big, strong boy.
No worries.
Yep. So segueing, so part of it, it wasn't just things being expensive. I'm more meaning like, so everyday mundane stuff, just in general, a lot of times seems to be more difficult. Like,
Okay.
you
You
know,
know
like,
that has nothing to do with what you originally said, right?
correct. It was. It doesn't matter though. Hear me now, believe me later. Okay.
Things think you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the price of things. What do you mean? Well, I mean things are really hard nowadays. Like what is that? What's wrong with you, dude?
They haven't
That
figured
doesn't
it
make
out.
any
They
sense.
haven't figured it out yet. Leave me alone.
Like can you move the okay, I want you to lift your left arm and hold it in front of you. Can you hold it straight?
That's my hurt one, but yeah, I can hold it straight.
Okay. Uh can you look in the mirror and smile? Do you see any disevenness in the muscular reaction of your face?
I am nowhere near a mirror, but I'm sure my face is not even. No,
You know what I mean.
wait, you're asking if I'm having a stroke.
Yes, because you're talking like all
Oh,
crazy.
just
It
no,
doesn't make any sense.
it make
The only way
mm,
that the words coming out of your mouth would make sense is if the oxygen supply to your brain had been cut off.
you're a dick.
I'm concerned.
I'm fine,
Okay, if you're fine, carry on.
but my arm feels numb.
Carry on.
All right.
You'll probably
Uh
be fine.
it but simple stuff like, I don't know. For example, the other day I'm getting groceries, right? And I should have
No.
just been able to walk in and get groceries, but I had to do some other stuff instead. And
Do you ever do a delivery where like you order ahead and just wait in the car, like
yeah.
a fancy boy, and then they come and you say, "Put it in the back.
So, yes,
Make it snappy, boy."
we used to do that. However,
Okay.
they mispick items. You can't ever trust people to get the right stuff. And then even if you mark no substitutes, at least at ours, they would substitute. And then it's harder to find the sale prices a lot of
Yeah,
times, you know? So overall,
I've heard that.
it was more expensive and we didn't always get the right stuff. How that's
Yeah, I've
related.
heard I've heard that it costs a little bit more, but what's crazy to me is that they can be like, we don't have this. I'm just gonna give them this instead. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Like, for example, right? I like a certain kind of wheat bread.
No.
One that has like a bajillion nuts and seeds, so it's better for my diabetes. But they might just sub regular old,
Yeah.
basically wheat bread and name only stuff, you know?
You get like a 7 grain.
They have I don't know if they have it where you're from, but you might be familiar with it. We have what's called Dave's Killer Bread around here.
Yeah. You should try Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel, huh?
Yeah.
So I
Not
eat
not not Elias.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I usually have either the good seed bread, which has like, a bunch of fiber and seeds and nuts in it, or I eat the 21 whole grains one.
Yeah. So so that's a fine bread. Like bread in general, like it has a lot of preservatives in it, things like that, which is whatever. It's not the end of the world. But if let's say you did want to be like, you know what, I'm trying to get some better things in my body. You can get bread from the bakery, right? Like get like a sourdough, things like that. It's got a lot of good stuff for you, made in the bakery. The problem is because they don't use a bunch of preservatives, it's not going to last very long. Like you have to go through it quick. Um, Dave's Killer Bread is a little bit more shelf stable. That's why they can keep it, with the
Yep,
regular bread.
yep.
But um, there's another bread called Ezekiel bread. I'm not kidding. Not Elias, Ezekiel. So this bread is actually going to be in the freezer section.
Wait,
So
it's frozen
yeah,
bread?
yes. So because it's not shelf stable because it doesn't have any preservatives. So the thing with Ezekiel bread is it's made with sprouted grains. So when the grains sprout, they have the full amino acid profile as opposed to just regular sprouts. So just in terms of nutrition value, all that sort of thing, uh, way up there. Highly recommend. So if you want to try it out, like I said, Dave's Killer Bread, also super good. If that's what you like, that's what you like. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to say don't try that. But if you want to try something else that's similar, that's also going to be really good for you, give Ezekiel Bread a try. They also have like some muffins and like raisin toast and things like that.
Huh. I'll have to look into that. So anyway, completely unrelated to any of this.
Yeah, so you said you were going to complain about something, and then you talked about a bread that you really like.
Yeah, actually, I have no complaints. It was just trying to set you up to talk about things that have been frustrating you.
Oh.
So it was just my really poor attempt to segue naturally, which completely failed. So now it's just going to be like,
yeah, you can't say I want to talk about something, and then when I say, oh, what do you want to talk about? Like, not have something to talk about.
right.
Like, you realize what the podcast, people are coming to hear what you have to say.
No, they're not.
That's 100% while they're here.
No.
They don't care about me.
They don't.
They're like,
not here to hear what.
Mherex, he's the
no.
Mherex. It's
no,
the internet guy. He makes the videos. Like it's
I
the guy
hate you.
that does the streams. I saw you chat. You posted in the world chat one time, and the world chat lost their mind.
You made that up.
No. Well, we established that I don't make things up.
No, yeah, but
100% factually correct.
No, until you do. You just made that up.
Are you telling me that you did not post in the world chat one time?
Yes.
I think it was like a week ago. It wasn't even that long ago.
No, I didn't post.
It wasn't like you just wrote something. It was probably that silliness where people like mark the server because they think that, oh, the server is hot.
Actually, can we talk? Let's talk about that. Actually, that was a natural. What is going on with that? Where are you got a tinfoil hat we can wear so we don't catch it?
I don't know. I thought that's what you were doing because you didn't say anything. Maybe it was a cat. Maybe it was your butt. I don't know. But you just said something random. Like it wasn't even coherent or anything. You just said something random.
What do you remember? Do you remember?
Lost their mind.
Do you remember
like,
what?
Oh,
do you
it's the Mherex.
Do you remember what I said?
No, I don't remember. It was like that's why I thought you were marking the server because it was just like a random word. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
it was Yojo.
Oh, so you did say it. So you not only did you say it, you remember exactly what you said.
Someone in our faction had put it like an X in chat 2 lines above it. So I just said Yojo. That's his name.
Oh. So he marked the server?
Probably.
And you were acknowledging him
Probably.
as your tribal server marker?
No.
So let's talk about marking the server. Are you for it or against it?
I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. I just don't think it does anything.
No. I wouldn't think so either.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
you know what I don't like?
What don't you like?
Is the lack of transparency in the loot pools.
Can you expand on that? Because I probably agree.
I mean, do you want me to expand on that? You were so scared about the last thing I wanted
to
talk
about.
No,
this I'm good with.
All right. So, another complaint that I have is I told you we should talk about things on the next episode, and then you made like 3 videos to talk about the things that I said we should talk about on the next episode.
Did you even watch any of those videos?
Yeah.
And we can...
that's why I'm complaining about them.
So, I make those videos... wait.
You're giving the milk away for free, Mherex. You got to get people to come to the cow.
We don't charge for the cow.
I make money off of the partnerships and the sponsors. If you're just giving the milk away, the people aren't coming to the cow, and then I don't get refreshing frosty beverages.
But what you can do is now you have all of this information that a bunch of people have watched, and now you can have like hot takes on it and tell people how dumb Mherex is, or I happen to agree with them on this, and then we can rant about it a second time on here.
All right, whatever. We can do that if you want.
All right.
But I don't want to rant about that right now.
Okay, what do you want to rant about?
I want to rant about the loot pools.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in one of your videos, so we can talk about that in a bit. I did have some things I agreed with, some things that I didn't agree with. But you mentioned like gotcha game mechanics, right?
Right.
Which those are just basically, games that have like a loot pool mechanic where
Yep.
you buy currency, which then pays for the pulls, and that creates a loophole where you can't ever complain that you didn't get what you paid for, because what you paid for was the currency and what you got is the currency, right?
Right.
Anyways, that's shadiness number one.
Right.
Shadiness number two, unfortunately, is specific to this game. So in the terms and agreements, or terms and conditions, whatever, both for Apple and Google in their App Store, it says that if you have a game that has these type of mechanics, that you need to give the percentages of the items in the pool, but not as buckets, as individual percentages. So right now, the percentages are just buckets, right? So they get,
Correct.
oh, featured is 1%, but then they don't tell you how that 1% is distributed between all the junk that's in that featured. So that could be heavily weighted towards the shards, which just through empirical evidence we know, right? If you do one of those things, if it says that, 3 guaranteed features, if there's shards in there, you know that you're going to get mostly, if not all, shards, right? Because
Correct.
it's weighted within that bucket. So what they're supposed to do is for every item give you the exact probability of getting that individual item. That's what the terms and conditions say that the game should do. So this game is in gross violation of the terms and conditions of the App Store for both Google and iOS. And everyone seems to be completely fine with it. They're like, yeah, take my money. That's something that has always annoyed me.
I know that. So I've known you for a while. This has always annoyed you. I have actually made lots of videos talking about this. When I used to do the daily news in particular, it's been a while since I've done anything like that. But yeah, so up on my screen, Sparks can't see it here, but I do have the loop pulled up.
I can see it.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. So featured is 1.75% to hit a featured. So that means, if you do 100 pulls, you're going to hit one. Not for, this isn't guaranteed now. The odds are you'll get 1.75 of the featured based on that percentage. This isn't counting your guaranteed stuff for a 40 pull, right? But if you did 100 single pulls, you would get, on average, 1.75 items from the featured pool.
How do you get 0.7% of a item, Mherex?
You can't.
Okay.
It's not physically possible.
Okay.
There's a chance.
Technology does not.
Yeah, because of the way odds work, there's a chance you get 0. You could get really lucky and get 5. You get 0, like you get 1. No one knows, right? So
it's an expected return, not a guaranteed return.
Correct.
And the previous probability has no implication on the next one. So that's something that people get wrong in probability a lot. They think like, oh, a good example, let's say roulette. Oh, it's been red
5 times
in a row. That means black is due. No, that's not how.
That's not how probability works. Yeah.
So, anyways,
it's always the same percentage. Always.
Yeah, it's just over time you would expect those tendencies to even out.
Yes.
The large sample size you have. So if you have a small sample size,
it's going to be skewed.
The number of inliers that you need to meet the criteria that you're testing for, that's going to be a lot smaller to make it still probable that the actual outcome is real, right? So there's, you have confidence intervals where it's like, oh, well, how sure am I that it could be or that it can't be? Anyways, I'm sure people did not get on here to get a statistics lesson, but carry on, Mherex.
Yeah, so there's 30 items in this featured pool. So you do, let's say you do 100 pulls, and we'll be generous. We'll say you hit 2 featured. We're not counting
Yeah,
guaranteed right now.
let's just make it 2% to make the math
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. So there's 30 cards, and you have a 2% chance of even getting one on a pull. So if the odds of all of this was equal, if you had the same amount of chance to get the whatever 50 different quantities of Sammy shards that are in there, who knows how many there are, somewhere between 40 and 500, there could be 10 different ones, there could be 30, we don't know. Even if they were all equally weighted, um, your odds of getting the specific one you're after are astronomically slim, right? Now you're talking like if they were equally weighted and you're doing, and there's 30 items and you need to do, you get 2 out of 100. Now you reduce your chances even further if it was equally weighted, which we all know it's not. So that's what they really should do, is they should tell you the percentage of hitting the featured like this, and then within the bucket they should list the percentage of, if you hit featured you have this percent to get this card, right?
Yep.
So
And
like
the
so like
games that comply with this, that's usually how they have it, right? Like
yep,
they give the percentage as a bucket,
yep,
and then if you click on a button in very tiny letters, it gives
yes,
you the actual percentage.
for that particular item, yes. And
Yeah,
and this is actually a big problem for me, and other people too. Like, but the really disgusting part though to me, and this is on people, right, is there have been
because people suck.
because what?
Because people suck.
Yeah, they do. Um,
Yep.
the odds of hitting like the featured, like you could literally do 700 pulls. You could do 1,000 pulls, and I don't. If you do 700 pulls, I don't think you even have a 50-50 shot of pulling the weekend poster.
No, you have you have a worse shot than Samoa Joe had at winning at Sacramento.
Right?
You know,
The math spells disaster for you.
like everyone knows the promo, right? But Samoa Joe won that fight, right?
I actually didn't.
Yeah, he defied the odds. Samoa Joe won.
That's awesome.
No,
So yeah, it's important to know, guys, like in general. I've said for years at this point, I don't do a loot pull unless it gets me a guaranteed milestone, and I expect to get nothing. And if you unless you should only do a pull if you're fine with getting nothing. If you're not fine with getting nothing, then definitely don't do the pull, because otherwise you spend $100 and you feel like a piece of trash.
no.
So yeah, no, odds are definitely a problem. I wish they would fix that. But I think like it I do think it wouldn't change spending habits at all, because people always think they're going to get something, and then they see their friend that posted something in their server, and you don't see the 500 pulls they did before they got X good pull, you know?
Yeah.
Um, you know what else I hate?
Tell me.
FedEx.
You really want me to tell that story, huh? That's where you've been trying to push all this towards?
Yeah, because I didn't ever get the full story.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I did tell you the full story. There wasn't much more to it. So long story short, I sent a package, and
What was in the package?
don't worry about it. Why are you
Where
in my business?
where'd you send it to?
Why are you in my business? I
How
sent
much
a package. That's all
how,
you need to know.
how much did it
Okay.
weigh?
That's all you need to
This
know.
stuff might matter for the story.
It doesn't. If anything, it will only endanger you to
W-
know anymore.
Okay, when you say it's a package, was it in like a envelope? Was it in
I'm
a,
done. I'm done. I'm done with the story. I'm done. The story is over. We can try this again another episode.
really? You're gonna throw a fit?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what are we gonna do? Okay, we're like an hour into this. What should we do now?
Well, I told you I tried to segue into the game. I gave you a perfect segue to talk about Sami Zayn dressed up like a 80s women's aerobics instructor.
You mean Richard Simmons?
No, I didn't mean like I meant a instructor that is a female, not an instructor that instructs females. But yes, that's that type of
Like
that type of
Jane Fonda?
sure.
Cindy.
Mherex, focus,
Okay,
focus.
right.
You love Sami Zayn.
Yes.
You you love the blackest man in Nebraska. This is your chance to sing his praises.
Well, I mean, everyone should go watch my preview video if they haven't watched it yet.
No. So
He's
safe to say you enjoy Sami.
he's super fun. I love him. He's my favorite showboat. I'm not saying that equates to he's the best showboat because I'm a massive mark for Sammy.
Yeah.
But he is my favorite showboat in the game. Yeah.
So if you haven't already, first pause the video.
Yes.
Go watch Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
Blackest Man in Nebraska,
N-
and
uh,
then come back and watch Mherex's preview video.
and then comment on this video what you thought about Mherex's video and Sparks's suggested watching video that in no way, shape, or form was approved by Mherex. Yes.
They don't have to talk to me.
Do you think people know that we don't rehearse this at all? Like, I think it's pretty evident, right?
I would hope so. I mean, can you imagine if we like planned this out and this was the result? Like one, that would either mean we're either the worst or the best.
Right.
Because either the plan went so wrong that this is what we ended up with, or we are capable of planning this.
Right.
There's no middle ground.
Agreed.
It's one or the other.
Agreed.
I will say everything that I am going to say is already known to me and planned out. So
I wish I knew what you were going to say, because then I could decide to have you on the show that particular day or not.
no, this makes it way more fun for me.
Not for me. Not for me.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
There are times when it's absolutely terrifying.
Why?
Because you try.
When have I ever hurt you?
Well, a bunch of times.
False. Name
True.
3.
Well, there was that one time.
No, you did the same joke last week. That time, and then the other time, and then this time.
It's
like,
not
no,
a. It's not a joke.
Either come up with something new.
Why?
Come up with something new, or move on.
Just all right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I got nothing. That was the best I had, and you just ruin everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Anything else going on in game that you like or dislike?
Actually, yes. So,
Oh,
did you watch? Yeah. Did you?
Yeah. You wanted to talk about the feud. So quick, kind of.
What didn't you agree with my feud video?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. So you talked about how, basically the benefits to people that pay are multiplicative, right? So like they get one benefit and that they have people, and then that lets them do this, and then that lets them do that, right? Like the benefits stack on top of each other.
Partly.
It's not just single.
But you also have to pay extra to get more benefits. So partly, yes.
Yeah. But no, well, the point is, if you spend, the benefits continue to stack, is the theme that I felt from the video.
Sure.
Yes, no?
Yes. I think based on what you're saying, the answer to that is yes.
Yes. So that part I agreed with. That part, yes, it does happen. The part that kind of I disagreed with was you mentioned how it's not fair to the people that don't spend because they can't be competitive. At least that's how it felt. I don't know if that's if that was the message that you intended. So maybe if it wasn't, feel free to correct me. But that was the message that I received from the video.
So
do you agree or disagree?
Not exactly. So by the definition of fair, if you're spending extra money to get these benefits, then it's fair, right? So I get what you're saying. So if I spend $30 a month to get my speed up, you shouldn't get it for free. That would be unfair. Because I paid for it, you didn't. So depending on how you define fair, and I know the type of person you are, where you're very literal and what you're saying is what you mean, because that's how that works, right?
Remember last week when I told you, instead of making up what you think I mean, you should listen to what I say and just listen to what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, carry on.
All right. So what I think is when things like speed up, which we pay for if you have it, things like steps, which max steps, which you pay for if you have it, um, creates an imbalance that is not healthy for the game. Is it fair that somebody has something they paid for that you don't, that you didn't? Yes, actually, that is fair. But I think the imbalance in a competitive mode is unhealthy. So my message is more that for competitive modes, things like speed up, and it's not just like, it's not any one thing, right? Like, it's the fact that if you look at this, you've been playing a long time too. 3 years ago, the only competitive advantage you had in feud was, if you spent, was your characters. You had the better characters, the better gear, all that stuff. That's always been enough to win, right? So now it's not just your better characters, it's also, your lane bonuses are super paywalled, which is another topic we can get to. Your the speed up is there, the steps are there. These are all things that didn't used to exist for feud and now do. So I feel like, and I could be wrong, I'm not a game developer, I don't have all kinds of data, and as I said in the video, I have no issue with spenders and spending giving you an advantage. It should. If you spend money, you should get more than someone that doesn't. That's just logical. And also, we need people to spend money, and the game needs to make money so we can have a game. So by no means am I saying make all of everything free. What I am trying to say is that in competitive modes, there should be a better balance of what you're able to pay for, right? To get an advantage. So my big problem also is, if you remember when we were like maxing feud war score in like an hour or 2 hours? I know you remember that, yeah?
Uh,
How long does it take us to now, if you're trying to feud, how and you can max even, how long do you suppose that would take most feuds?
so that goes to what I thought the real problem is. So I was going to ask you earlier, you talked about, oh, that's enough of an advantage to win. So I was going to tell you what your definition of winning is. Because if you're talking about leaderboards, like, no one that doesn't pay for stuff is sniffing any type of leaderboard reward.
Correct.
And for them to think that they should is incredibly entitled of them. And that single thought defines them, in my eyes, for the rest of their life.
Okay. Okay.
So so there's that. So one is, what do you consider winning, right? So if it's leaderboards, whatever, which, if leaderboards are your thing, then yes, you need to go in understanding that you need to have either previously paid a certain amount, or you're going to need to pay a certain amount now to get like both boosts and whatever it is that you need to get, right? So it's not leaderboard. So then really what we're talking about and what you are bringing up is the time it takes to complete the tasks that they would like you to do. So,
Correct.
in theory, these bonuses should make that faster or easier, which,
Yes.
that is the problem, right? Like,
Definitely a part of
oh,
it.
50% increased war score. Sweet. So let me go look at the requirements. 95% of your points have nothing to do with war score.
Yep.
They're winning with insert person that sucks.
Right.
So, really, like, if you want to talk about what would be better, like, you used to talk about how you like the game to give you the choice to grind to get something if you so choose, right?
Correct.
You don't like rewards being 100% paywall.
No, not at all. You
So,
don't earn anything.
yeah. So let's say these CSS requirements, let's say you set them at like 50 matches per person, right? If someone wants to go in and win 50 matches with Tech Ravishing Rick Rude, here you go. You can get this stuff. 1000 TP. Enjoy. But hey, you know what? Give me $5, and now you only got to do 10 instead of 50. Give me $10. Now you only got to do 3. Give me $20. You only have to do 1 match to get all the bonus points. That would be a smart way to include paying into this thing. And then if someone wants to have, like, let's say you want to have a digital measuring contest, okay, have a separate contest where it's you have no multipliers. And that way it's, just person against person, no multipliers, no nothing. Let the progression be where the paying matters. If you pay, progression is faster and easier. If you don't pay, you got to grind a ridiculous amount to get the same amount.
But
And yeah, if you
but
want to have a digital measuring contest, yeah,
yeah,
y'all can do that on your own. I have no interest in winning a digital game, and not even like the whole game, like winning a random event one weekend in a digital game. Like, hey, look
right.
at me, I won.
It means
Yay.
it
Big
means
deal.
nothing.
It doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But if and again, this is all choice. Like
Right. 100%.
the way that people value their time, like they should give people, because again, look at the target market in this game for muscly men in their underwear.
Right.
Like the people, the younger people that play this game, they're broke. They don't have any money. They're not spending anything. Like, respectfully, who cares about them? Now, the people, the people that are going to spend the money are people like you, people that grew up watching wrestling, people that have a job now, and that they have expendable income. And this game is entertainment to them. You've talked about this game as, this, you consider it like part of your entertainment budget.
Correct. I
Instead of
do.
going to the movies, it's just, hey, I play this game, and this is part of my entertainment budget. Those are the people that you're going to make money off of, and those are the people that likely, most of the time, don't have the time or desire to grind. So if Scopely was smart, instead of charging people for stuff that doesn't actually help anyone do anything, they would charge them for these things that would reduce the amount of time that people that have expendable income would be willing to spend. Yeah, like, it's things like I've talked about, like, oh, have a pass where it doubles like the coins that you get or something like that, right? Give something that actually has a benefit so that someone that isn't a psycho and wants to grind the game for hours and hours and hours, let them pay $20 just to make the game more enjoyable and still get all the things that they could have gotten if they had no job and no social life and just wanted to click buttons all day.
Yeah, so I think there's a huge difference between pay to speed up and pay to win, right?
Yep.
In general, anything that has a competitive mode is always going to do better from a balance standpoint if it's just pay to speed up. And even
Is it a competitive mode though?
it's not 100%. It's not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you keep saying like competitive and winning. Like, who wins? Like,
Yeah,
what do the winners get?
one person wins, and it's debatable sometimes if it's even worth it, right? So,
Like, I know there's individual. I don't even know what's that's for. Like, is it the war score that gives the really good stuff, or is it
no,
who
well,
spent the most
so
coins?
it still usually comes down to spending. So this particular
Right,
one,
it's who did the most loopholes, right? Like
yeah, you usually, yeah.
that's the one that gives the better prizes.
So in this particular one, first place in the Flash Feud Battlegrounds competition. So like if you win the war score across all 4 feuds, only first place gets Sammy. The second place gets 200,000 solo event points, which is like the equivalent of being worth like $30 of spending. And
Yeah.
so it's either first or nothing.
Yeah.
And then I think
You said they had to win all 4 of them?
Yeah, that's the best, not win all 4, but have the most points across all 4.
Well, I mean, okay, sure. I was calling that winning. Yeah, like there's a leaderboard. You're saying you have to be number 1 on the leaderboard of each individual Flash feud, and if you win, winning is going to be top of the leaderboard. If you're the top of each leaderboard, then you would get Sammy. Is that correct? Are these the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Mostly. So you could, so there's different paths to it, right? You could finish second in all 4 and have the most combined and still win.
Ah, okay. So the Sammy is the combined
Yep.
prize.
Yes. Now, the other one that is completely dictated by loot pulls, it's the top 40 get Sammy.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the top 40 get it there.
Yeah. So there is theoretically one grind element, but you still have to pay to have even the option, right? Because you need the speed up and you need the max steps if you're going to try and win.
So then, what's the problem? Like, it's stupid to try to get first in the War Score event,
I don't
and
disagree
the
with you.
only way to get Sammy in the other one is to spend a ton.
Correct.
So why are people in such a fuss over this?
So I think like where it really comes in is when you combine all of the stuff, right? So it's the feeling of it's pay to participate in a sense, and not just beyond that, right? Or not just that. So back to the time part, right? Like you remember, like you max feud in like 2 hours, and now
Yeah, the time part is 100% the worst part
yeah,
of
and
this.
and that's the majority of it. So what I'm saying is like the average player now can't max the grind event, right? So like, and even people with good stuff won't max the grind event because it's not worth their time, right? So this one goes up to 300,000, I think it is, in the whatever you want to call the battlegrounds competition, right? And there's some stuff that speeds it up, the CSS that you don't have. So even in the one where you can play for extra milestones, the super rare stuff speeds it up more, right? Sorry, 300 million. I said 300,000, 300 million. So, and there's really good stuff like all the way to 200K. But the bigger problem is a lot of people struggle in this game is having enough shards to evolve people. And those shard bags come in the final 2 milestones. But the realistic part is that,
That reminded me of another beef I have. Continue and then
yeah,
just say the word shards and I'll remember.
okay. So more the real problem is that unless you have, so even in the quote grind aspect, you're insanely so let me go. So the best feuder in the game, right? One true, he has every card in the game. He also uses speed ups and that stuff. Average flash feud, it takes him about 7 hours of straight playing to max. And
You
that's,
mean the full grindy, like where
yes,
you get the bonus points and then you get
yes,
more points.
yes. So like I don't know how it'll be this one. This one could be different. We'll have to play and see. But a normal flash feud, it takes him like, that's literally the best of everything in the game because he has every card. He's got all like, he doesn't have, he's got pretty close to the best roster, right? He's got every, I don't think he's missing a single plate, etc. And he'll buy speed up and max steps. So that's every advantage with all the best stuff. It takes a guy like that 7 hours. Of course, as
Did you ask him that? Did
yes,
you estimate that?
no,
How
no,
did you
I
get that?
I talked to him about that stuff.
Are you saying you had a off-camera interview?
No,
You just said. I feel like that's exactly what you just said.
no, focus.
You said you asked
No,
him.
you focus. I did ask him. It was on stream
I'm just saying.
actually, and anyway, whatever. So, I
See,
know.
this is my point. You waste the good content on the other platforms. That is why we lost Big Red. I'm so bitter about Big Red. Like, you don't understand.
We
Dr.
can
Pepper is Dr. Pepper is fantastic, but Big Red is delicious.
we could get them back.
No, no, no. I don't even want them back.
All right,
I
fair.
don't. You don't deserve them.
Oh, that's hurtful. Okay,
Yeah,
so focus, right? So I
miss Big
know
Red.
the more the the more CSS you're missing, the longer that takes. Myself, it's usually not worth it. I typically stop at like the 200 million mark, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't care about the shards. And you know me, I'm one of those people you tend to list as a psycho fairly often. And I'll stop at 200,000, and I have a ton of stuff, and that might take me like 10 hours, 9 hours. So the average player literally can't get anywhere near that. And that's more where my beef is. Like, there's no realistic path to being able to do this as a normal player. It's not the fact that they can't leaderboard, and it's just all of the stuff combined makes it a really bad experience. It's not fun. People don't enjoy it. And if you want to try and do it, it takes way more time than any sane person wants to invest. And so it's the combination of all those things that make it super frustrating, right? Does that make sense?
So let me ask you, because again, because I respond only logically with
Right.
no emotion.
Sure.
What is in these later milestones
Mm.
that people are upset that they're not getting?
Uh,
Is
the,
it the
it's the shards.
is it the, I was gonna say, is it the shards of just so that they can level up people?
Right.
But you just said they don't have good people. Why are you leveling up bad people?
That is not what I said. I see what you're doing. I did not say they
No,
don't.
like you said, the people that can't compete is because their rosters suck. So they can't get shards, but their roster sucks, so what do they need shards for?
Yeah, a valid point, actually. I can't argue that.
Like, it goes to what you said earlier. Like, you identify where you're at, right? And then you
Yes.
see, like, oh, how much effort is it going to take for me to get this next thing? If
Right.
that next thing sucks, don't do it.
Yeah, so I do think it's
Like,
important to have a realistic expectation of your roster and set goals. And also I think
I don't think even think it's that. I think people think that there's like all this amazing stuff that they're missing out on,
it's not
and
that
really it's like 1,000 TP. Like,
a lot of it isn't that great for sure. That's why I quit when I get to like the 200 million mark. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like if I
efficient.
yeah, I mean like but also too like
I
everyone
don't know why you don't do the same thing in Showdown.
because I can win Showdown without spending money.
No, but it's not efficient.
It is. Anyway,
It's not.
beside the point. Leave me alone. Stop picking on me. I do play Showdown too much. But it's got
Continue.
energy. But I got energy, so it's not like I
You got
play.
you got big Showdown energy.
No, I'm saying like I can only play so much, right? And
Mm.
otherwise you have to spend a metric crap ton.
You meant like the currency to do more
Yeah, yeah,
matches.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, you're fine.
I thought you I thought you were just, pointing out how you
It's
can go all night, and people with
no,
much smaller, much weaker rosters
no,
don't have the stamina to
no.
continue
Stop.
as long as you can.
You've insulted people enough. Just give it a few minutes and then go
Who
back.
have I insulted? I haven't insulted a single person all episode.
All right, fair. Uh if you're insulted by anything Dr. Sparks said, no, he doesn't like you or care.
No, if you're insulted by anything I say, there was a great misinterpretation, and I apologize that you don't have the mental capacity to understand what I'm saying.
Okay, okay, okay. I don't even know what I was saying anymore.
You were talking about feud, how people with bad rosters want the things that aren't
Oh,
very
okay, okay,
good.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You
So
wish that there was more balance.
the other thing, yes, just more. The other thing is too, and I'm guilty of this at times as well. everything you miss always feels bad, even if it's not great. In your head, you make it that it's way better than it actually is. Like you're saying, you said a little bit ago, you realize you missed out on 1,000 TP or something, right? It just, you see this milestone and you're like, and if you can't hit it, it just feels bad.
Uh,
And
like
most,
I could have had another Mysterio's mask medal.
right. And I was just gonna say, in reality, how often do you push for that milestone and you open it and you're like, oh great, another plate I can't use, or I got a worthless strap.
No.
So, but it still feels bad, and that's like where I think it's
Why are
important.
why are move why are move defense straps still in the game?
I don't know.
Remember when everyone used to complain about skip turn?
Hmm.
Like they're like, "Oh, it's not fair. I wanted to do a move and the little cartoon character said no." And yeah, I mean, look at like when's the last time you used a skip turn belt on purpose?
Never. I hate those things.
No. Like what about anti-bleed?
I throw them away.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just saying. Uh
Uh, I think.
it has me thinking about all the stuff that is worthless in the game that people maybe don't realize is worthless, and they put so much care and effort into something that doesn't really matter.
That happens a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Um, what was your beef with shards? I think I've pretty much exhausted the feud thing with you.
My beef with shards is, so there's a moment for these month-long people, right?
Uh huh.
The There's Asuka and the people.
The other people.
You made videos. So there's a moment which boosts the people, right? Whatever. It's not the end of the world, but it's a nice little boost. But you can only upgrade that moment with shards from those people.
Uh huh.
So like you can't even if you, let's say you get the people
Uh huh.
and you get the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to have enough leftover shards to max that out, and you can't even use the moment unless you have three of the people. I don't know if people are even aware of that.
Correct.
So I don't know, like
So
using
to
shards to level up moments. I don't like it.
to turn this around on you, if you want the shards, you got to buy them.
Sure, I mean you could do that, but realistically, I mean the shards are getting sold. Like, do you remember when? That's another thing. Remember when shards, you would like the 100 pack would have like
Uh-huh.
100,
Uh-huh.
200, 500. Like you would actually get shards
Meaningful
when
amounts,
they're like,
yes.
yeah. Now they're like, hey, do you want 25
Five,
shards
yeah, 25 shards of indie. Here you go.
for 100? Eh?
Eh?
25?
Yeah.
Eh?
You know what's really
What?
funny
What?
is we complained about shards and how they were such a waste and we had nothing to do with them besides level moves. So they fixed our problem and they gave us something to do with those shards. What it was they did with it created more problems. They fixed their
Yep.
problem and that now you need shards to evolve people. They fixed their problem and now you need shards to level up moments. They fixed their problem and created something they could profit more on top of how
No,
much
but even that, like, it's not the amount of shards that you would have to buy to level those up is completely unrealistic.
it is. So unless you pull the character, right? Like you need to
Yeah.
pull Asuka, you need to pull Seth, um, and you need to like and level them before getting the bulk of their shards, right? Because once you level
Yeah.
them,
And then,
you have no choice to not convert their shards
yes, that's what I was gonna say. You have to level the moment before you
before,
character, because when you level the character, you don't have the option to not use their shards for leveling.
right? So
So you could have a bunch of shards that you could use for leveling, and then if you just forget and upgrade
yes,
them,
yep,
all those shards that you could have used on the moment are gone. So just public service announcement. If you have any intention on using the moment, do not level up those characters using the shards. Like max the moment, do as much as you can, and then you can start leveling those characters with the existing shards that you have from other people in the same class.
Yes.
If you already use the shards to level it, like, I mean, can you imagine how long it's going to take for people to use, like, what if someone used like 4,000 shards of that character to evolve them? Like,
Right. I'm
these
sure
characters just came out. Like, it's going to take a while to get that many shards.
it will for sure. And so again, it's one of the ways they end up making more money off of something like that, right? So it's smart to put these moments out there from a business standpoint, and no one wants
Yeah,
to
but you got to
wait.
make it realistic. Like, you
I
can't you
you mean
can't offer 25 shards for $100. Like, no one's that dumb.
no, they are.
No, I'm not saying they won't buy one. I'm saying like no one is gonna buy it over and over enough to where they would actually get that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they'd probably counting on pulling the character or something before
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
No,
But
it's not
anyways,
a good model. I think that's a legit beef to have, especially with the current moment. I
I think the
luckily
problem was
I
the
leveled my
problem was
moment
all the
before my characters.
yeah, yeah, no, I did too because I'm not an idiot.
Fair
Um,
enough.
but I mean, no offense to anyone that didn't do that. Uh, but yeah, I think the main problem is the rest of the moments had other people in them that had already been released. So
A lot of times, yeah, there's older
yeah,
characters,
not every single one, right? Right.
right?
But that's the problem. If you release a moment that only has new people, you're completely handcuffing people's ability to level that moment. I
Yeah,
think an easy fix for that is if you're going to do that, make sure you include somehow
one.
someone that has, people either have shards for or they can easily get shards for.
Yeah, like
Or
one or two.
have yeah, or like have, you know, just like leveling up the character, if you don't have the shards for that specific person, use other shards at a diminished value.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be an easy fix.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Like having more options, for shards when it's the new ones. So like they've done this recently with the newer ones, like the Summer of Champions. This year's Summer of Champions was like Batista, Ilya, Maxine, and May. Same way, you didn't have any older ones. Whereas you take the Miz moment, you had like Tech Roman, Striker Orton, Striker Lashley, more importantly, Acro Jey Uso and Showboat Otis, like really old characters that a lot of people would have had shards for, right? So, you
But
know,
also with that moment, it wasn't all released at once. You had to get several pieces for it,
yes,
which
correct.
delayed people from getting the moment, which allowed them to accumulate the shards. Like, I
Uh,
think if you're going to do that, that makes more sense. The problem here was they told everybody, hey, everyone, here's a moment. Aren't we great? We're giving you a moment. Thanks, Scopely. And then you get the moment, and it's like, nah, you can't use it. What? And then if you did get the people, it's like, yay, you can use it now, but you can't level it. Oh, like bait and switch.
it just goes back to like participation, right? Like with all things.
It goes back to how expensive everything is now. It makes things
See,
are so different.
there's my segue. I set that
Things are
up from the
things
beginning,
are the price of everything
has went up.
makes makes feuding hard.
Yes. Thank you
It all
for,
makes sense now.
thank
It
you.
all makes sense.
Will you apologize for saying I was having a stroke?
No, I don't know that that's not what happened. Like, I understand what you were trying to say now, but the fact that you said it so unintelligibly worries me.
Fine.
How can
Fine.
you be upset about me caring about your health and well-being?
It's pretty easy, actually.
That's selfish on your part.
It is. Okay.
Anything else? Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm kind of getting there, dude. We don't. I don't even know. I don't even know where to go from here, right? Like, do we end it at this point? Do we just keep gibbering? I mean, I don't have an.
We could play a game. Do you want to play a game, or you
Yeah,
just want
let's
to
play.
call it?
No, let's play a game. I'll play a game. I'm undefeated forever.
I mean, 1,000 victories in a row as of last week.
So
No, 100, not 1,000. Sorry.
I'm like 1,000. Where'd that come from? I didn't remember that.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Do we need to explain the game to people again, or you think people should know now because everyone watched the last episode? Actually, I think over like 1,000 people watched the last one.
I mean, they clicked on it.
That's more accurate. Yes.
Yeah. What? I mean, can't you see? I want you to bring that up, Mherex. What was the average time viewed on that video?
You don't want to know.
I do want to know. That's why I just asked.
So, apparently, at the, let me get this, the 6 minute, at the 4 minute mark, 19% were still watching.
No.
Of the 1.2K that clicked on it. So, maybe 200 people made it 4 minutes. Oh. And at the 18-minute mark, we were down to 11%. Somehow it got higher. At the 19-minute mark, 12% were watching it. Don't ask me how that works.
Nice. Well, that just means more people listen longer than listen shorter, Mherex. It's not that hard.
Oh, okay. Well, 4% of the people that watched the video watched the entire thing.
Nice.
So there's probably more than 5 watching. I can't imagine anyone would watch it twice. The full length, not even you or me. Yeah. So 1,200 people viewed it. Like 4% would be times 0.04. Is that correct?
Yep. You're getting there. Come on.
40.
Bring it on home.
We have 48 people. Let's minus you and I just in case. 46 people. There's 46 of you real ones. That's way more than 5.
Yeah, but you're, again, assuming that people didn't listen to it multiple times. People didn't leave it on and
just quit listening.
So the real ones are the ones that follow instructions properly. Like, people have been instructed.
Just click on it.
Go make a sandwich. Go on about your life.
Yep.
And then come back at the end, and then search Sami Zayn, blackest man in Nebraska.
Oh my gosh, I hate you. So
put
actually,
in the comments. I want you to put in the comments whether or not you watched the video. Did you go watch Sami Zayn?
I am not. I am, just so you know, I am not titling the name of this video like you're gonna want me to. This episode is not gonna be that title.
I think this episode should be called
No.
Not Sami Zayn.
No.
Blackest.
No. I am not making that thumbnail. I don't care. No. No.
It would be.
No.
It would be.
No.
The highest.
No.
Episode.
It's not happening. Ever. I knew that was gonna be your angle. No.
Whatever, dude.
All right.
That's why we lost Big Red. That's why we lost Big Red.
No, it's not. We lost Big Red because of Kofor Spaniel.
No. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
All right. Are we gonna play this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me think about it.
Well, Sparks is thinking about it. So the game we play is I have 20 questions to guess the character, and there's specific rules which he will repeatedly point out as I try to break them, but I'm undefeated forever.
It's true. Never have you ever not been defeated.
Actually, so the average view duration was 6 minutes and 53 seconds, but that's pretty skewed considering 9% watched an hour. It's a pretty niche market, but for those people.
Hey, the people that are still here, this is for you.
You know what's really crazy is in the last 48 hours, 30 people have viewed it.
Yeah, I saw people like apologizing to you for not having watched it earlier.
I mean, they should apologize to us. If you haven't watched it, definitely apologize to us. You should watch it. This is good stuff.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
So, as a reminder, first 10 questions cannot include gameplay features or mechanics. Once you get to question 10, you can ask one question per, you know, gameplay type feature. Once you get to question 15, all bets are off. You can ask whatever you'd like.
I forgot how I started this out last time, but I really liked my question pattern last time. I felt like it was really good. And I kind of want to repeat that, but I don't remember how I started off.
Maybe you should have re-listened to the episode.
I did actually, but that was last week.
I'm just saying. Should have
Maybe.
taken notes. Something.
All right. Um, does this
Do you
care?
think anyone would want to come onto the show and challenge you? Like, we know you're going to win, but would someone want to come on the show and take the challenge and see if they can win? Because we know you can win, but can
I,
other people win?
I mean, I would be happy to play the game with someone else. Maybe if somebody actually listens to this point and comments, we could make it happen if they have a decent microphone.
If anyone wants to be on the show and try to win at 20 questions, let us know.
Do you think we should have a question, like a mail, like, you know how like podcasts have like mail question where people mail in a question, email usually, but instead of email, in the comments of the video, if there's a really good question, maybe we'll deign to spend the time to answer it.
Yeah, I mean, we tried that. Before you rage quit the Discord, we had a whole channel
I hate
where
you.
people would leave their questions. It was like the same five people. That's why they're called the five,
Right?
because they were the only ones that we can actually tell legitimately watched. Other people may have clicked the button, but only five actually listened.
Yeah,
And this is for them.
indeed. All right. Does this character have a long...
Viking,
What?
Viking, we miss you.
We do miss Viking.
Carry on. Does this character something?
Have long hair.
No.
Okay. Does this character have facial hair?
Yes.
Short hair or no hair and facial hair, just not long hair. Okay. Um does this character have a jacket?
Yes.
Really? Okay. I'm feeling pretty good so far. Um I should be writing these down actually.
Yeah, I write them down. That's why I give you a recap. Because yeah, I can't trust that you're actually writing them down. So far you said no long hair. We said yes facial hair and yes jacket.
Okay. Um when you click on the character portrait, you know what I'm talking about. Bring up the character portrait and you can spin them around.
Uh-huh.
So there's a
Uh-huh.
jet. I feel like this would be a wasted question, but if they have, maybe not. So they do have a jacket, and they do have facial hair, but not long hair. Do they have tattoos? Can you see tattoos when you pull them up?
No.
Okay, I kind of thought that would be the answer, but whatever. Let me know when I get to the milestone where I can ask more specific questions, please.
Yep, you are on question number 5 right now.
Does this character have a... how would I phrase this? We'll go with the hat.
He does not have a hat.
You said he.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
There aren't a lot of females with facial hair in the game.
But there could be.
You say so.
All right. I was just trying to be smart with you, unfortunately.
No.
All right. So no hat, you said, right?
Nope.
Mm,
Number 6.
does this character have a mask?
No.
Okay. Let me know when I get to where I can ask about a specific class.
Okay, you are on 7. So
Okay.
soon, not yet.
Okay. Can I ask about gem types yet?
Nope, that's gameplay mechanic.
That's what I thought. Okay. Specific hair color on the board right now or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like all these first 9 are basically what does the person look like.
Okay.
But I can't have you go in like a series, right? Like
So I can't
where you
ask
just
like every color of hair.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Does this character have black hair?
No.
No black hair. Okay. Okay.
Number 8.
So we got no mask, no hat, no tattoos. Facial hair. Does this character have glasses?
No.
No glasses.
So last time I let you start with the gameplay mechanics at 9 instead of 10, and I enjoyed that. It pleased me. So I'm going to let you start at 9 again.
So this can be gem types.
Yes, this can be gem types.
Does this character have multiply gems?
Let me see. He does not.
No multiply gems. Okay. So I can ask a specific class now?
Yeah.
But only one, right?
Yeah.
Is this character a powerhouse?
Not a powerhouse.
No powerhouse. Okay. I can ask era now?
Yeah, you can ask her.
Modern era?
I believe so. Let me confirm. Yes. Yes, modern era.
Okay.
So let's recap. No long hair. Yes, facial hair. Yes, jacket. When you click the button, you can't see tattoos. No hat. No mask. No black hair. No glasses. No multiply gems. Not a powerhouse. Yes, modern era. You are on question number 12 now.
Is the character bald?
No.
Okay, so they do has hair. And I can't until we get down to 5 questions ask other like class related questions, correct?
Other class related questions, no, but you can ask more appearance questions. Like remember at the beginning, like I said,
Yeah.
like you can only ask like hair color once. Now,
Mhm.
if you wanted to ask hair color again, whatever. Like,
But that's only at
basically,
five, right?
well, what I'm saying is all appearance questions are good to go right now.
Okay, perfect. So not black hair. So how about blonde hair?
Yes.
All right, blonde.
Yes, blonde hair.
So we got blonde hair, blonde short hair with facial hair in the modern era, but not a powerhouse.
Correct.
Interesting. And it's obviously a dude. Men.
You have one more question, and then the floodgates are open.
I kind of want to think about this question a little
As
bit.
opposed to the previous 13.
Yes. You're a jerk.
It's not. It's not the. It's an interesting strategy there, Chip.
We'll see if it pays off.
I mean, it's paid off 100 times in a row.
Oh. Okay, so let me start going over through this again. Not long hair.
Correct.
Has facial hair.
Correct.
No tattoos visible.
Correct.
No hat.
Correct.
Has a jacket.
Yes.
No mask.
Correct.
No glasses.
Correct.
No multiply gems.
Correct.
Okay, it's not him then. I was so close. All of those all of those
Oh
other
goodness.
all of those
Oh
other
goodness.
all of those other things lined up completely perfect, by the way. I had the character. I had it nailed.
Clearly.
That's sad. That is really sad. I had the perfect character. When you rewatch this, you're gonna make fun of me.
What did you think it was? But Mherex, a lot of people are just listening to this. Why don't you talk it out? Like, who are you thinking of? Like,
Okay,
oh, I
so
think it's
I was looking at
use your words.
I was looking at Ilya there.
Okay.
Dragunov, because you don't know who he is. I'm scrolling through Modern Era looking for blonde hair. Cody doesn't have facial hair. Let's Solo. Looking at Solo, he's got facial hair that's black and he has a blonde hair. Okay. But there's tattoos visible everywhere, so he's automatically out. Seamus has a hat, so he's out, and no jacket, and red hair. And does Kaiser? Nope, no facial hair. Okay. Oh. No, he has multiply gems. Logan Paul has multiply gems, so he's out. Dexter Loomis has visible tattoo. No, he doesn't. Well, it depends if you have his gear equipped or not. Let me go to ungear. Yeah, no, he's not visible then. Okay. And he only has a jacket with his gear. Maybe I should clarify that. Does this character have bonus gears available?
Let me check. Yes, he does.
All right. Am I so out of curiosity, when you answered the tattoo jacket question, does this count as an extra question to know if the gear was equipped or not? The bonus gear.
The question that you asked was, if I look at the character, can I see tattoos?
So
Those were the words that came out of your mouth, and that is the question I answered. So
fine.
you are at 15. You can ask whatever you want now.
I hate you. I think I need to get the class narrowed down, to be honest. Even though it's not powerhouse. Let's just eliminate Dexter here, or possibly keep him in the fold. Is the class a striker?
Yes.
Oh, this is lame. I was hoping it was no, but at the same time, I have the answer. So let me go through this again, just in case. He does have bonus gear available. Not long hair, facial hair, has a jacket, no tattoos visible. This all applies with gear, because he has bonus gear. He's blonde. He's modern era. He's definitely not a powerhouse. He doesn't have multiply gems, so he's mostly fitting. That's the first one I've ran into that fits, so... Plus, he's a striker. So now let me just... I think striker will be faster. Let me go by striker. Right. Okay, so I'm really thinking it's probably going to be Loomtastic there. Cody doesn't have facial hair. He's definitely blonde. Rocker doesn't have facial hair, and he's not modern. All right. Sid's not modern. Brock's not modern. Not modern. Modern. Tyler Breeze doesn't have facial hair. Not modern. Boy, I really think it's probably good old Dexter here, but I don't know how to clarify. All right, let me ask a more specific question. When this character is wearing his OG, not bonus gear, his current, like his standard gear, are tattoos visible?
Let me check with the judges. They say yes.
Tattoos are visible.
Yes.
I have more questions. How many questions left?
That was 16, I believe. That was the last question after is he a striker, correct? Or
Yes.
did you? Yeah. So when wearing original gear, tattoos are visible. So that is, you are on question number 17
Okay,
right now.
so I don't see anyone else that meets the criteria, including ones I don't have. That I hate not using all my questions. Do I get bonus points if I don't use all my questions?
No, but if you guess and it's wrong, you automatically lose no matter what question you're on.
All right. Okay.
So you can guess right now if you want, but
No, I
you
might as
still
well
got.
use all of them. I might as well use all of them. Does this character have trap gems?
Let me check. Yes.
Okay. Does this character have a gem buff move? Gem buff move.
Yes.
All right. I'm fine with guessing at this point. If I lose, so wait, no, one more. Is their style focused?
Yes.
All right, it's Dexter Loomis. Is this character Dexter Loomis?
Can you be more specific?
Is this character Dexter Loomis Silence?
Can you be more specific?
Is this character Striker Dexter Loomis Silence?
Can you be more specific?
I no? Question mark? What does that mean?
So the original line of questioning, you had to change the questions because the original line of questioning was pointing in one direction, and then to go a different way, you had to ask additional questions, which means that the original person was a very specific person. Ergo,
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. I can be more specific, I suppose, then. Uh I don't know. Power couples? Dexter Loomis?
you asked if the character had multiple gears. I said yes.
Uh-huh.
I need to know which gear he is wearing.
Okay, do I have any questions left?
You should already know if you just look at your
Yeah, I
questions.
know. He's the current gear he's wearing is well, when we started this, the current gear he was wearing, he had a jacket. So at the start, it was the power couples gear. At the beginning or during it, you removed gear. I'm assuming you put it back on, but originally it
I didn't
was
I didn't remove anything. You asked the question about the character I was looking at, and then you asked me to look at a different gear.
fine. Dexter Loomis wearing the power couples gear.
Um, I don't know if that's what the gear's called, but yes, that's the one where he's wearing the jacket. That's all you had to say, dude.
Yeah, the one with the leopard print on it, like whatever it is.
You could have said that.
Yeah, why'd you make that so painful?
Because I wanted to make sure that there was no asterisk. I didn't want the comments to be flooded with, "Oh, Mherex didn't technically get it right." Like, you have haters because when someone is magnificent and successful, the haters come out in droves. So you have proven yourself to be a titan of industry when it comes to 20 questions. So people are going to look for any reason to try to bring you down a peg. And I'm trying to protect you.
So let me get this straight. Let's just to kind of wrap a bow on this entire episode.
No.
You've spent this entire episode belittling me, making me sound even dumber than I am, questioning my intelligence, asking if I've had a stroke, and now
Yes,
you're gonna
I did
say
that.
all of this nice stuff about me at the end and expect me to believe it. This is the definition of a toxic relationship, man.
I didn't do any of the stuff you said at the beginning. I did worry about whether or not you were having a stroke, which falls in line with me caring about you. Which that's why I said these positive things. I feel like I've been pretty consistent.
Consistently, no, I'm not taking any more bait. Okay.
You know where you can get the best bait? Jim's Bait and Tackle Shop. Remember, they're on the corner of 5th and 3rd, but they still got the kiosk inside the mall. Jim's Bait and Tackle Shop.
How much are they paying you?
They got,
and why don't
they also carry Dr. Pepper.
How much are they paying you, and why don't I get a cut?
Because you're not putting in the work.
I do as much work as you.
Not promo work.
Well, that's because I don't cut good promos.
Yeah, exactly. You are a mechanic, right? Your in-ring work is top notch, which means that you are an excellent mid-carder. Let's be real. To get to the main event status, you gotta have the charisma. You gotta have the talk. If you can't make people feel, Mherex, you're not gonna make it in this industry. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether they hate you, whether they like you, you got to make the people feel.
I suppose. I feel like I'm getting set up.
Feeling sorry for you counts.
Oh, okay. That works.
Yeah.
That works. Are we going to close the show now?
I think so, unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
I don't think so.
I feel like this episode's been like 3 hours. I don't know.
2 hours and 7 minutes, way longer than we intended.
I mean, but not longer than usual. They're usually aren't they usually about 2 hours?
Yeah. Last one was like 1 hour and 45 minutes. And this one's 2 hours and 7 minutes. Like, and the funny thing is,
you talked extra gibberish at the beginning.
No, you did.
No, you did.
No, you.
No, you.
You.
Stop. No,
you stop. You stop.
No,
you stop.
All right.
Closing thoughts? Anything you want to call out, mention? What do you want to say to your, so actually before that, what I would like to do, and you guys listening, the 48 people that watched the whole episode and the 5 people that actually were there, I would like you.
You think those same 48 people are gonna listen again?
No, I don't.
Yeah, they probably are the kind of people that have some type of compulsion where they're like, I started this,
I have to finish it.
To finish. Yeah, they're like, I would want nothing more than to just skip this, but they're like, no, I started it. I have a mental condition which it does not allow me to not finish this. Yeah, I still think we only have 5 listeners.
Can we at some point make it a segment that we check the statistics from the week before video in every episode? It doesn't matter when. This is not cohesive. It's not like first 5 minutes, first 30 minutes, but I feel like every episode now, we should literally check the statistics from the one before. I feel like we could have some fun with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So what I would like listeners to do, if you hear this, and don't worry about hurting my feelings, right? Genuinely, so Sparks likes to run this narrative that people are just here to listen to Mherex. I don't think that's necessarily true at all. So I would like you guys to start picking sides. I'm not trying to start a fight or anything. But if you're
Team Mherex, Team Sparks.
Yes. So Sparks is blue or lightning. So blue works. So if you're team blue Sparks, you got to let us know in the comments. If you're team Mherex, what color am I?
Ham.
Ham? Okay. If you're team Mherex ham, which I guess is kind of like pinkish, let us know.
Depends how it's prepared.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
With
just type out Team Mherex, Team Sparks.
That's all you got to do.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. You don't need to give reasons. You don't need to justify it. We're both.
If you want to justify it, please leave that as a second comment.
Yes, because more comments looks better than less comments.
Yes.
And also make sure that you click the button on every episode and let it run the whole way.
Yeah, like if you haven't watched the 280 whatever episodes before, like get caught up.
Right.
Because if you're just listening to this right now, like you're going to think this is crazy and like it's nonsense and none of it's going to make any sense. It's going to sound ridiculous. But if you had listened to all the 300 or nearly 300 episodes before, it's all a beautiful, long time storytelling. It's right up there with Champa Gargano in terms of long-term storytelling.
Facts. Like you can see the growth, the maturity, but also how we cohesively, randomly weave this show together. You will understand that by listening to this, we enrich your lives, we make you better people. Unless you are bad at the game, in which case you suck completely and we don't like you at all.
You stink and you smell.
Yes. Also, if you like subs, you stink and you smell.
Hey, whoa.
Too
Watch your tone.
Too far?
Watch your tone.
Okay. All right, your closing thoughts.
I was just gonna say, if I tend to give random information, I try to enlighten people. Like sometimes you'll ask things and that'll lead me to kind of rant or kind of just start talking about random facts and information, which I enjoy. I like teaching you things and enlightening you on things. And you ask about stuff. If anyone wants to learn about something, put it in the comments, and I will teach you next episode. Maybe if I feel like it.
I like it. So I'm just kind of
throwing that out there.
Yeah, I just kind of recap. Like, throw your questions in the chat, like stuff you want to see Sparks and I address. Whether it's global warming, or it's the long time issue of which way the toilet paper should be loaded into the rolly thingy, or whether it's a game thing, right? If you want to see us discuss it, let us know. If you have a question about your life, like, your really bad relationship, or if you have a question about why you're so bad at the game, ask that. We can help you.
No, don't ask that.
I mean, it might be fun for us to tell them why they are.
Fine.
We probably don't want to deal with it, so you might be right. Okay, yeah, don't ask that. But like, if you're curious,
I'm on record as saying that if you're bad at the game, I don't care about you. I don't want to give attention to people I don't care about. I'd much rather help the people that I like.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. So if you're bad at the game, don't ask why.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I guess that's episode number 385, and we are not naming it Sami Zayn in Nebraska in any version.
All right. I'm just saying. There's already a reality where I create the tiles And 100%, that's already the name of this episode.
I am glad I am not in that reality. You're just,
But
this is
anyways, yeah, people try not to suck. Try to give people some type of benefit of the doubt. And remember, it's a game. Games are supposed to be fun.
And my closing thoughts are, don't suck and don't do horrible, horrible things. And if you do, I'll probably judge you forever, but I shouldn't. So, hear me now, believe me later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode number 285 of Not Sami Zayn in Nebraska. And join us next week where possibly we discuss something mildly interesting.
And go log into your Peacock account.
Why?
Because I get money every time I say that.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Maybe I'll get money. Go log into your Peacock account. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, good luck out there. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Was that an ice cream truck?
That's my alarm.
Oh. Your alarm is an ice cream truck?
I mean,
are you still recording?
Yeah.
I hope the ice cream truck is in here. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just a blank screen because I did my outro, but I'm still recording because this is kind of gold. No, I made it the noise of an ice cream truck because it gets my attention, obviously, right? I hear I hear ice cream truck and ooh, where, you know? So, yeah.
No, stop right there because nothing you can say is going to be better than that.